at work. Look at this adorable mug. I just love these. This is from Patty Cornelius Pottery. She's a local to me potterist. I just absolutely love these mugs. So today is December 5th. It is Friday. It is Friday morning, and I took the day off of work. I really just needed a break, you know. I actually have quite a few things going on this afternoon, some appointments and stuff that I have to attend to, so I already had to take a half day, and I was like, you know what? I need a morning to myself. We all do, right? I was just really feeling like I needed some time in the sunshine, the daylight. If you live in this part of the hemisphere, then you know, it gets really hard to just not see the daylight when you work during the day. And you know, even if you have access to like windows and stuff, you know, when you're plugged in, you're plugged in, and you're not outside, you're not experiencing it. And so last weekend I got my early Christmas present. I got this dome, this clear tent that I can set up on my deck so that I can sit outside in the winter. It's got a heater in there, and while it's not warm, it's not cold. So as long as I bundle, keep a blanket on my lap, it is incredibly comfortable to sit out there. It is not cold at all once you got that heater cranking and you're dressed appropriately. And it is absolutely wonderful to just be able to sit outside again. And I actually like that it like has that crisp chill in the air, but like you're just warm and toasty. And so not being able to sit out there in the daylight, like it just made me just like so aware of how little daylight I actually get to see and experience and live in. As every single day I've been trying to rush home from work to just get a little moment of daylight in there. And it's, while I might pull into the driveway with some daylight, by the time I'm like sat down, it's gone. It's pitch black. So yeah, so I was like, well, I already have to take a half day for my appointments. What's another few hours? So I'm super excited. So you might be asking, why are you not enjoying your morning coffee in the snow globe? Well, you know, nature has her own sweet way. It is 11 degrees outside. 11 degrees. I am gonna... Simon! Simon! Oh my god, he's knocking a plant over. That cat. Anyway, I am gonna go check on the ducks. So when the temperature starts dipping below 15 degrees, you know, we definitely make sure that we're being really vigilant. And you know, if they look uncomfortable, if they're not moving around and being active, then we will just move them into our garage. So, you know, I live in the suburbs. I don't have a barn. I don't have any of that things, but we do have an attached garage. And just that attached garage being attached to our house, when it's this cold, that garage will be, you know, 35, 40 degrees. So, so that's perfect. It's not an ideal place for them to live, but for the couple days that the temperature drops this low, we don't get a lot of days that are this cold. And it's actually pretty rare that it's this cold this early in the season. It's technically not winter yet. Winter's not till what, the 20th, 21st? I'll have to look on the calendar to see exactly when the solstice is this year. But we usually don't get these like crazy cold snaps until January, February. So it's definitely early, and so it should only last for a day. And I did check the weather. The high today is a high of 28, so they should be okay. We have heaters in their water, so their water doesn't freeze, so they can still drink water. And they do have, it's, you know, like a laying it's made for chickens to lay their eggs in, but it looks like a dog house. So they can go in there, it's packed full of straw. So there's plenty of insulation and they can all go in there and huddle and get out of the wind. And it's the wind that is the issue, because they have so much fat and blubber on them that they are fine in the cold. They are not gonna get cold, and their feathers are insulating. So if it's snowing, if it's raining, they don't feel the moisture because they're waterproof. So between their waterproof feathers and their fat, they're fine. But what happens is when it's super windy, the wind ruffles their feathers, and that's what can be the problem, is that's how that cold and moisture can start penetrating up into their feathers and layers and give them a chill, because if they can't get out of the wind and their feathers keep getting really ruffled, that's when they can get cold. But they can go into their box. So I just like to make sure that they're actually in there and huddling, but that they look comfortable, you know, that they're just kind of asleep in their normal little circle, that they don't look like they're all stressed out and freaking out. And also just make sure that they're not just like standing in the middle there in the middle of the wind, because sometimes I love my little 3 gals to death, but they're kind of dumb. Sometimes they just like stand in the wind and I'm just like, really? Can we try to survive here? So anyway, so I'm gonna go out and assess just to make sure that they don't need to come in for a little bit of garage time, but I don't think that they do, because it's already starting to warm up. But that was my very long-winded way to say this is not why I'm in the bubble, because while there are heaters in there and it does get pretty warm, the heaters bring it up about 25 degrees. So when it's 30 degrees out, it gets to be about, you know, 55 degrees in there, which is, like I said, with a blanket and a big hoodie and a hat, is very comfortable. But yeah, when it's 11 degrees, that's still gonna be cold. So I'm going to wait just for the sun to come out a little bit and for it to just warm up a little bit, but I'm definitely gonna go sit out there. So for now, I thought I would sit and work on my puzzle. So for part of my Christmas countdown gifts, my Christmas crafting, I don't know, is a puzzle a craft? You put it together, right? I have a Christmas Through the Window Advent Calendar Jigsaw puzzle. So I've been working on this. And I've just been working on it here. I know I've been like nervous about the cat getting up here and knocking them off, but so far he hasn't really noticed or been interested in it. He's currently more interested in knocking plants off the windowsill, so I guess that's fine. This tablecloth is actually, I think, working in my favor because it's kind of velvety, so the puzzles actually like stick to it really well. So I actually don't think he can whack these off very easily. So right now it's working, so I'm just gonna kind of keep putting them around. I don't know what we're gonna do when we, you know, have people over and they need to eat. We'll just, that's when I'll have to figure out what to do with these puzzles. But for now, I'm just putting them together right here, and here they live. Yeah, so each day is just one of these little squares or rectangles, and eventually they will all, like, you're supposed to arrange them and they will make this complete picture. But otherwise, you're just putting together these like individual ones. So today is the 5th. So I'm gonna get my puzzle out. Yesterday, I actually did not film anything yesterday. So yeah, so your day 5, there will be, I guess, no day 4 video. I really was just nothing nothing of interest really. I worked, and then my mom came over yesterday. It was a really wonderful evening. She came over, we spent the whole evening together. She helped we decorated our trees together. So I have 2 Christmas trees. We do a live tree, and we have an artificial tree. And we have one that like we keep in our front window, so it's like really decorative and you can see it from the street. And then in our living room is where we put like all of our sentimental ornaments up. So that was really fun to decorate the trees together. And then we made dinner, and then we worked on the puzzle together, so that was really fun too, that we did the puzzle together yesterday. And then she left and I went to bed, so I was like, it was great. Alright, so I have that, and then I've just been putting where did I get this from? I've just been putting them back in their little things, because that way I can box this up and gift this to somebody for next year. That's what I did with my one from last year. And then so I was able to make progress yesterday on my Woolens and Nosh sock. So here's the progress so far. Yeah, I actually worked on this on my lunch yesterday. So the 4th stripe is a beautiful dark blue. So now I'm really curious for today. I'm really excited, because are we gonna get an even darker blue, or are we gonna start switching colors? So I'm excited to see where are we gonna go next. So I've got that. Let's see here, lots of goodies today. Today is an odd day, so I have my Firefly Notes stitch marker countdown, and so it's a 12-day countdown, so I've just been opening it on the odd days. So let's see what we got today. Ooh, birdie. I love the bird ones. They do such a good job with their birds. How to make friends with birds, or just knit with them. So it's a beautiful blue bird, and it's got like a ring back. Really pretty. So they do a really good job with their birds. I actually have like a whole bird stitch marker kit by them. I think it is from the bird one. It's got a duck, and I love that it's a brown duck, because my ducks are Cayuga ducks, so they have black feathers, and they're like a beautiful, like inky green, blue, black, and I've yet to find any duck paraphernalia that's representative of their coloring, and that brown duck stitch marker is probably the closest I could find, because usually you just see either mallards or kind of like the traditional farm white or yellow duck. And so this one was a brown duck, so I'm like, okay, it's not a mallard. It's at least we're kind of going, dark. So I liked that. But yeah, their birds are so pretty. Yes, so that'll be good, and I'll definitely need that again depending on how much more progress I make on my shawl. I've made a lot of progress. I was gonna hopefully be able to work on that in the bubble. That shawl's really fun right now. I did not do yesterday's. I actually didn't even open yesterday's because my mom came over, and so I never got around to opening yesterday's because I wasn't gonna knit on it at all since she was over. So I do have 2 days to open. So I've got the 4th and the 5th, and then I will kick these up, and hopefully when it does warm up a little bit, I can work on this in the bubble. So it's good that I got a stitch marker. I actually pulled some of my other Firefly Notes stitch markers to mark. There's just like a repeat section, and as the shawl grows, you have to keep remarking that repeat section. So I found a really pretty flower. I thought that went well with the bee. That was the number 1. And then I actually do have a bird that is all from Firefly Notes. So, 4, okay. So this is the 2024 Spun Right Round Advent that I did open last year and never did anything with it. It's been sitting in stash. So I opted to repackage it in the order that I wanted to use it for the rainbow bouquet shawl that I'm currently knitting. It's in the other room. I didn't grab it because I'm gonna work on it in the bubbles. So this is not how it originally came. This is how I repackaged it. This is my day 4. So I've been putting them together to be in kind of like a fade. So this pattern isn't a true fade because the colors aren't blending together, and there is a contrasting kind of stripe section that's in between. But I did want there to be like a kind of like that uniform progression of colors in between the stripes rather than just contrast from section to section. So because I liked how there was like the contrast stripe, but I wanted the colors to kind of shift across the shawl. So so that is how I arranged these. Ooh, this one's really pretty. So the first 2 days were really dark, bold blues, and it looks like now we're getting into some lighter colors. So that'll be really nice. So yeah, I'm gonna work on my puzzle, drink my coffee, cake up my yarn, and then probably recheck the temperature outside and see if it's time to put the heat on in the bubble. It does take about a good 30 minutes to get it, you know, to get it warmed up anyway. So yeah, so we'll see. Otherwise, I guess, I don't know, clean my house. That seems like not a fun way to spend your day off. I'm sure I can find another spot to sit in it. That's usually not a problem for me. You hear the ducks. Ducks! I can see that they can hear me. And now they're peeking over. Little cuties. I actually was just over there. I checked on them just to make sure that their water hadn't frozen over, because you never know, those heaters just decide to stop working. Gave them some food and made sure that they were doing okay, and they were all just taking a nap. Don't seem to be phased at all. It's not windy at all, like it, even though it was bitter cold this morning. There's no wind. it's just peacefully still, so I'm not worried about them. They are fat and happy. So yeah, after I checked on them, came back out here to look at the temperature, and it had gotten all the way up to a balmy 20 degrees. So I thought that that was warm enough to kick the heaters on and come out here. So put the heaters on, and then I made myself some breakfast while it was warming up. And yeah, so it's already up to almost 45, which I guess, you know, depending on your own preferences, that may or may not be warm to you, but I have one of the heaters that's like literally blowing on me. So even though the thermometer says that the air temperature is 45, because I can feel the heat like literally blowing on me, and I've got a nice thick hoodie, I've got thick sweatpants on, got my winter lights shawl that I actually haven't worn this in forever, found it in the closet, and a big thick blanket. I am so warm and cozy. I'm perfectly content, and I've got some hot coffee. I put it in a thermos so that it wouldn't get cold. But yeah, I am just perfectly content. So I'm gonna hang out here. I don't know, good 45 minutes for some peace and quiet. I'm gonna do some knitting. I'm gonna work on my socks, maybe start the new colors on my shawl. I brought up my iPad so that I could watch, I'm either gonna watch some Vlogmas videos or I might watch some Netflix. I've been watching Homeland. I never watched it when it was on. I don't know if it was on like HBO or one of those. I never watched it when it was on. So I saw that it was just added to Netflix, and so I started watching it, and I'm like really into it, really hooked. So I might actually watch an episode of Homeland while I do my knitting, and I'm just gonna enjoy this little bit of peace and quiet. And then I will get up. I've got to pack some orders, and then I've got to head out to my appointments. But for right now, I'm just really grateful to have a little bit of me time in the bubble. I think the ducks want to come into my bubble. They probably love it.